Hi, I'm Andy Sweet, and I'm here today to show you guys how to make a slant board for athletes. So I'm a coach for runners and cyclists and triathletes, and something that I regularly, or really always, suggest to my clients is to regularly spend some time standing on a slant board. If you're not familiar with what that is, it is literally just a slanted board. But this is a great training tool to help relieve some lower leg and really rear of leg stress and tension. So if your calves are tight, your Achilles are sore, you've got plantar fasciitis issues, soleus, calves, hamstrings, all those things in the back of the leg that get a lot of stress, swimming, biking, running, etc. Slant boards are a great, easy way to help alleviate some of that pain. And they're really easy to make, but sadly when I searched YouTube, there's nothing out there, so I'm here to show you today how easy it is to make your own slant board. And I've got my little helper Tristan here helping me out. He's not for rent, so you can't have him. But again, we're going to show you real quick how to put together your slant board. Not a lot of tools required, not a lot of materials. So let me run you through those real quick. First thing you need is some sort of platform board. On my sample, we use particle board. Here I've got a piece of 1-inch pine. Probably the easiest and simplest and cheapest is to pick up a little bit of 1/2-inch plywood. No matter what it is, as long as it's a little bit sturdy and nice and flat. So our platform board, we're going to cut at 13 inches by 14 inches. So 13 by 14, and you can cut it to that width using any kind of saw out there. Here I've got our circular saw, probably the easiest and most common for you to have. Table saws work great, but you can cut your board using a circular saw, 13 by 14. Then we have two 2x6s cut at 13 inches long. So again, two standard 2x6s cut at 13 inches. Again, you can cut it down using your circular saw or table saw or chop saw. But here's our two board. Now, the only other thing we need to attach those in the end are going to be 12 screws. So here I've got 4 3-inch screws that are going to be used to attach our 2x6s. And then some 1.25-inch screws to attach our plywood or our platform board to the 2x6s. So again, 3-inch screws, 1.25 inch, and only 12 of them, so nice and simple. Other tools that you'll want. Again, I've already mentioned our saw. You're going to need a drill of some sort. Here I've got two, one with an actual drill bit and one with a driver bit for our screws. You can use one and just interchange if you'd like. You're going to need some sort of level or straight edge. So something that's got a true straight edge, a ruler, a level works great. Obviously a tape measure. Then some eyewear for any of your sawing just to protect the eyes. You never know with splinters and sawdust, you don't want to get that in your eyes. Some other things that we might want but aren't necessarily necessary. I've got some sandpaper on a sanding block here just to get rid of any rough edges, as well a wood chisel for the same purpose. Got a little speed square just in case I need to make any square lines, which I'll show you in a minute. And lastly, I've used a jig saw to help cut out a nice little handy carrying handle on our slant board. So jig saw, great if you have it, not necessary if you don't. That's all you need. And now, really quick, I'll show you how we put that all together. So we've already got our platform board cut. Next we're going to do is cut our angles for the slant. And we take one of our 13-inch 2x6s. We take our straight edge, and we're merely going to split that board directly in half at an angle. So one corner to the other corner. Find those cornered edges. Make your line. Now you've got two equal triangles. Once you cut those down with your saw, this is what it'll look like. Two, again, identical triangles making our slant. With our other 2x6, we're going to cut out our handle. This is again only if you want to have a handle on there, not necessary. So I picked the center 4 inches of our board and drew a 1.5 inch mark down, 1.5 inch mark down, connected that through to get a nice little rectangle in the middle of the board. You can make that as wide or as narrow as you want. 4 by 1.5 inches seemed perfect for me. Again, once you have that marked out, you can use your jig saw or scroll saw or anything else to just cut out that nice little rectangle. Again, this is just going to be for a carrying handle. So once you've got those cut and your platform board cut, you're ready to put everything together. It really is that simple. So what we're going to do now is take our 2 angle boards, spread them out, take the rear 2x6, set next to each other. There we go. And all I'm doing is aligning edge of the slanted board right up to the edge of the back board there on both parts. So this is, again, will be exactly 13 inches apart. Once you've done that, you're going to want to take your drill with a drill bit. Nice small bit, and I'll put in the notes what size I use today. And you're going to pre-drill 2 holes straight in through your rear 2x6 into the slanted board. And just have them kind of equidistant there, pre-drilled on both sides. This is just to ensure that when we put in those big 3-inch screws that nothing splits, it stays nice and strong. So I pre-drilled through. Once I did that, we're ready to start putting it together. So my board is pre-drilled, it's lined up. I'm going to start my screw.
Oh, good job, Daddy.
Just holding it in place, screwing it down. Nice and tight. Really, we're more worried about the alignment than anything.
Whoa. Good job, Daddy.
So one side is done.
Good job, Daddy.
Thanks, buddy. Okay, make sure your boards stay in alignment.
Good job, Daddy.
So now we've got our slants connected to the back of the slant board. Should be good and secure. They might not look perfectly straight right now. That's all right. That's what's gonna happen once we place this in the right spot on. So now we can put our platform board right onto that slant. And you'll notice that cut at 14 inches long, 13 inches wide, the board will come right up to that back plate that we put on this rear 2x6. And then on the lower end, it'll come all the way down to the end of that slanted board. So once you get that aligned up with your board, again, you want to use your drill bit and pre-drill. In my case, I used 4 screws per side just to make sure it's nice and strong and attached. But pre-drill through just to make sure we don't split any wood. And all I'm doing is making sure that all the way down, that my slanted board lines up flush and smooth with my platform. Once we've got that set, we can put these screws in as well.
Do fast. Do fast.
Make sure sure when you're putting the screws in, you drive them in far enough so it's nice and flush, nothing to catch on your feet when you're standing on the board. I've done one side. On the other side, as I mentioned, now is when we can really straighten this up. Make sure as you're working that you pull the second side nice and flush again with your platform. And we're just going to put those in place as well.
Good job, Daddy.
Once those are in place, you are done. Slant board is finished, it's stable, it's strong, plenty sturdy for anyone to stand on. Now is when you can run over the whole board carefully with your hands, looking for any rough or sharp edges. Grab your sandpaper, maybe a sanding block if you have it. And just hit all the corners, all the edges to keep it nice and smooth. You can then finish this maybe with a textured paint or textured tape so it's easier to stand on. Just a second, buddy. But just run through it with the sandpaper, clean it off. If there's any big locations, maybe you can hit it with a wood chisel. Other than that, you are ready to go. You have a slant board, set it on the ground, stand away, and work with that nice rear leg tension and stress. That's all you need to do to make a slant board. Thank you.